All righty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody had a lovely day. And with that being said, let's dive into the TA. Guys, boy, oh boy, we got some exciting stuff to talk about today. We're going to kick it off here with the indices. We're going to talk about the Mag 7 stocks, semiconductors, some Bitcoin stocks, and then I have a few trade ideas at the end of the video just for you. All right, so it is Monday today. We did not get our Black Monday. We did not get this, look at this. So, close, open over here. Okay, so big gap down, Black Monday number one, right? Close, open down here, Black Monday number two. What do we have? We have Green Monday, okay? You gapped up today. You fell right over here into your short-term moving averages, as well as your 523 support. We knew that was going to be a big spot over here on QQ. But more importantly, guys, when you lose your short-term moving averages, you want to reclaim them as quick as possible. And once you do start reclaiming them, that's when the bulls start, regaining control here. You came down, you reclaimed them, right? You got back above them, you tested them over here, but, more importantly, came up here to big resistance here, okay? Sellers, big resistance, and then came down and confirmed not only that important 523 spot, but also that, the momentum is to the upside. The bulls remain in control here. I do think we are going to be continuing higher from here, considering we, gapped up here, and you can, just kind of put on a golden pocket there for the whole move down. You are literally right here. You've been consolidating right at the 0.786 fib all day. I think it's very likely that we're going to end up testing 531.24 in the short term. All right. So that is what I'm going to be paying attention to here. I'm looking for upside, get above 530. We're talking 531.24, and then above there 533.82, and then 539.15. On the downside as support, we have 528.15, 525.97, 523, big spot there. And then if you lose that, we're going to stop there, because if you lose that, you're probably going to start, continuing lower, probably down to 518.21 over here. All right. Bigger picture, though, is still this giant break and retest you got going on over here. Let me just fix that there. Giant break and retest you had ugly double bottom. Here's your neckline. You broke out. Here's, the breakout level, previous all-time high over here, came back to retest it. And you've just been basing above it, guys. People are getting bearish on this thing. I don't understand. Now you have these, two upper wicks here back to back on the weekly time frame, and you're gapping up to the high of those. This is probably going to be taken out here, these wicks, and you're probably going to have a big fat green bar extending to all-time highs. My personal opinion there. We'll see what we get, but at some point, this consolidation is going to resolve itself, and we overwhelmingly do have the bullish structure. I don't know how there is still people out there that don't see it. It is what it is. SPY over here, guys, same exact look. Came down to the short-term daily moving averages, and you again found buyers off of them. Just like when you got above them over here, came back down, found buyers over here, okay? Lost them over here and reclaimed them and retested them. Boom. And you confirm that there are buyers there. Bulls remain in controls. Buyers remain in control. On the upside, resistance, you have 605.36. That was your high of day today. Well, it's 605.50 over here, but you did reject your 605.36 resistance. Above there, you have 608.15 and then 610.78. On the downside, you have 602.13, big spot there. Underneath 602.13, we're talking 599.70, 597.75, 594.64, and 590.49. I don't think we're going to be coming back down there, but we will see what we get. All right, I do want to remind everyone, you have this, big pennant over here. What looks like to be a bullish pennant over here on Mr. VIX. And I don't really know what's going to happen with this, considering the indices to me look like they're going to continue higher. But VIX over here looks like, if you come down here towards the lower bound of this, you're probably going to get buyers stepping back in. And, you're just going to come back up to the middle, range of this pennant here. At some point, this is probably going to pop. But we will see if we start getting some daily closes underneath this trend line. Hey, we'll scrap it, and then maybe we come down to 14.27. At that point, we have to scrap it. So we will see how that all goes. You come over here to IWM, and same thing. You reclaim the, you got back above the short-term moving average over here in the daily time frame, came back, found buyers again off of them today. On On the upside as resistance, 228.04. Above there, 230.55, and then we're coming up to 233.40. On the downside of support, 226.64, 224.66, 222.71, and then 220.23. Don't think we're coming back down here, guys. I really don't. Over here on the weekly time frame, you know, this looks constructive over me and or to me. The fact that we didn't fall off the face of the earth and we actually came back up to the recent high, you know, that's not a sign of bearishness. That is bulls stepping up to the plate when they need to. That is how I see that. DIA is so close to highs, you're consolidating right underneath it. You know, I pointed out coming into this week, hey, whether this comes down here and then goes up to highs or it just continues up to highs, I have absolutely no idea. When we were over here, I had these two arrows. There's one right from here, and then there was one right down here. They both have the same result, which is all-time highs. We ended up finding buyers off of there, off the daily 21 and our 438.04 support. But, you know, at some point, guys, we're probably just going to get that next little leg up and take out that 451.55 high there. Weekly time frame does not look bearish. I don't know. Who cares about these stupid wicks? You just sold, did not take out the low of the range, and then came all the way back to the top of the range. Chances are you're going to continue going along with this weekly uptrend. And we just got to stay patient and just see when we're going to get it. But you're probably not going to, you know, evade taking out the low and, you know, taking out this beautiful uptrend we've had for a very long time now. Like, you know, you haven't taken out a weekly low since over here when you took out right here. Okay, that is like near the bottom of this over here over 2022. Like, this is right off the lows over here. You know, you held that and then came up to high. What tells you you're now going to come back down to the low? What do people got going through the minds? What is on your feeds that makes people bearish on these things? I promise, with enough experience in the market, all right, you'll see that 2022, it was an anomaly. And most of the time, markets like to go up. And even when they don't like to go up, you can see ahead of time when they don't want to go up, because you'll have a weekly downtrend, weekly uptrend. Dips remain buying opportunities. You identify those on the daily time frame as long as you're in that weekly uptrend. Once things start to shift, that's when you have to take a risk-off approach and you have to start reevaluating things. And maybe you can stop buying those dips. Until that happens, dips remain the buying opportunities. I promise, the big money, the surprise are to the upside. All right, so that is that. Moving on over here to Tesla, guys. Tesla's taking a giant dump today. Daily RSI is down at the same spot where you found your buyers last. Two occurrences down there. 4-hour RSI is now oversold. Buyers down there last time, buyers down there, buyers down over there. So the last 3 times you got over here, you found your buyers. Now, I don't know if something like this is going to happen where you really start selling here. Okay. But, you know, I'm just going to give you my opinion here. Just 100% my opinion. Going from here to here, 2-month period, right? 56 days. You see that? Everybody see that clearly? Do you see what's above that? 130%, 128.66%. Now let's see this 2-month period, pull back minus 28.25%. I understand it looks scary. I get it. But this is the same exact amount of time. And if anybody wants to tell me that it's losing steam and, you know, now it's just going to massively sell off, I'm going to test you. I'm not going to call you stupid. But I am definitely going to just make you question your thought process over there, because 2 months up, 130% move, 2 months down, minus 28% move. We can clearly tell who's in control. We can clearly tell where the surprise was. We can clearly tell where the trend is. Anyone who is telling you otherwise has no idea what they're talking about, and you should not be taking any sort of advice. No advice will be given on this channel either. But you should not be listening to these individuals. Anybody who's saying, oh, Tesla's coming back to, you know, $300, they're probably going to be very wrong. And even if it does come back to 300, you have a big spot right here. Okay. It would be a very big buying opportunity, but I will just point out you're back at the weekly 21 right now, and you are going to have, you're going to have the 0.618 fib from this whole most recent rally here, right here at 320. You have 326.59 support there. I don't think you're going much lower than where you are right now. I'm going to be completely honest. You know, between I think what I said to the Discord was between 340 and 360. I think you are going to find a bottom over here on Tesla, and I think you are going to start up a pretty sick, nasty rally. It is going to be a reversion to the mean rally until it's not. Okay, I'm just going to let everyone know that. So if you're buying the dip with me over here, okay, what are we going to be looking for? We're playing this move right here, this $40 to $60 move back up to 384.29. Depending on where we are buying this thing, it becomes a $40 to $60 move. From right here, it's, you know, only a $33 move. I think it's going to go a little bit lower. 345 gap though, get down there. At that point, you're playing for a $40 move. That can move, you know, March, April contracts. Even, you know, at that point, you have over 2 months in your contracts to catch that bounce. We already think we're buying the bottom. You now have 2 months, you know, you have a few weeks of excess room, wiggle room there where the contracts will not eat themselves. Okay, so that's personally my play over here. I like the 400C April contracts, 419, and I am playing for that move into 384. You're going to have the short-term moving average over here on the daily time from there. But I do think overall we are getting confluence down there. I think it is only a matter of time until buyers step in. And we also have the daily RSI that if we keep falling here, have another day like today, this daily RSI is actually going to be in oversold territory. And at that point, I think we're probably getting ready for one of these V-shaped kind of rallies here. And I don't know exactly how it's going to play out. I'm not saying something like that's going to start up. We get the whole next leg up to all-time highs. We're probably going to get a pretty sick, nasty V-shaped rally. If this daily RSI gets oversold, a lot of people are going to, you know, put 2 and 2 together and say, oh my God, people were just chasing this thing almost at 500 bucks. It is now fallen, you know, 30%, fall a little bit more, come really down to 326.59 support down here. 33%, guys, that's a discount. Okay. I think it's going to be bought. So those are my opinions over there on Tesla. I do think we're going to get bought, you know, right around the corner. We're going to say 326.59 to 345.45. That's where I personally think there's going to be a bottom. That's where I'm personally going to start loading up over here on the April 400C. And I think I am going to lock in, you know, probably 50 to 60% payday over there when that time comes. All right. And I have a trade idea for you guys today that I think is going to be extremely high likelihood. We just have to be patient on it. I put it on your radar. Actually, it was top watch for me going into this morning. I missed it. I was a pussy. You know, it was McDick's, it was McDonald's, MCD. I'll actually just go over that trade idea right here. I won't tease you guys with it. Okay, we're gonna have to wait anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks for this one. Before our RSI hit today, a spot where the last 4 times, I think it was, we got 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4. The last 4 times you pulled back for 1 to 2 weeks. Well, there was one time where it was 3 weeks, but then you launched up. So you got over here. Okay, so you pulled back. You then went on to take out the highs. You got to give it, you know, half a week there. You didn't do much over here. Okay, but then you come over the next time. You got this going on, so you hit it right here. You pull back, based out here for, you know, this was 3 weeks here, and then you ascended into the heavens over the following weeks. And you really went for a ripper. But, you know, even over the next like 2 weeks or so, you still got a $10 move. And that right there is the 100% gain on your contracts, March cons. Well, whenever we're going to have some time go by here. So we'll probably be playing April contracts. But I do think if this pulls back here over the next 1 to 2 weeks, it's a clear as day buying opportunity for the move to new highs. I outlined this chart. And by the way, that's 4 out of 4 times that same exact pattern happened. And then you got at least a $7 move on every single one of those occurrences. So yeah, I do think that's something that's going to be extremely likely. And then also just look at how the chart is set up. I put this on your radar down here. I know now it's up here, but I'm still going to say there's a trade I did to be had. Now, if you were to buy, that my idea was, you know, 321, 300C off open. I was hoping you just crush because the last 4 out of 4 freaking earnings, you did not. You gapped down or you didn't gap up. You know, just options premiums got crushed, and then you were able to get that at least $5 move intraday. I was planning on catching that for a 50% gain this morning. Just going to buy off the bell and, you know, cut when I saw $5 intraday. Definitely cut when I saw $10 because that's a 100% gain, guys. I'm not a greedy little bastard. You know, I want my money. I want to take it. I want to get the frack out. And, you know, I'll point out a trade I did today that I hope you guys banked on, which was ASTS. All right. I'll hit the bell for you guys. But, you know, I was sitting here realizing today, I'm like, you know, I'm not going to be this greedy little pig. I was going to leave runners for new highs up here at 39.08. But, you know, who's going to argue with 100% within a few days here? There's absolutely no reason to, you know, risk things for the biscuit. You can hold for runners, but, you know, I was just doing the math, and, you know, if even if you're holding just that little amount, you know, do I really care? Do I really care about leaving 20% of the position, maybe, you know, pulling an extra, like, you know, 5 to like 8 grand, depending on how much I let this thing ride for? No, I don't really want to do that. I'd much rather just take it. And, you know, if it pulls back here, I will probably just add the full position back. This thing rocketed right over here into the golden pocket. You're right at the first target, 30.55. I do think now that you got the daily close above 30.55, we're probably going to start making our way up to 39.08. I welcome dips. I don't know if we're going to get one. I'm going to be completely honest here. You have the daily RSI just reaching overbought territory. You know, it could be something like over here where you get a whole bunch of pullbacks, or it could be something where you just kind of skyrocket and have these big legs up, consolidate, big legs up. I'm not really sure how exactly going to play out, but pullbacks remain buying opportunities until we can get up to 39.08. All right, we're going to get back into the, you know, the Henry show over there, the Today show over here with the Mag 7 stocks, because I only went over Tesla and started giving you guys trade ideas, MCD and ASTS. I got another thing that it's looking hot, guys. We're riding these things, and yeah. Coming over here to NVIDIA, guys, you got above 131.26. You got above the short-term daily moving average over here, and now you are heading up here to that 140 psychological level. Resistance is going to be 137.80. That is the 0.618 fib. We were looking for a move this week. We were saying, you know, either you're going to pull back and get bought up there probably in the next 2 weeks, or you're just going to come there this week. That's what we were saying in the weekly update. It was one of the other. Both scenarios led to 137.80 to 144.50. We're probably going to be coming up here and test the golden pocket. Probably still going to test this 141.90 level. Weekly candle last week, guys, is not something to be bearish on. This is what I was just saying. You know, if anybody is seeing these things and telling you to be bearish, and these are probably not people you want to be listening to, okay? You guys, I know you got your hard-earned money on the line. The only reason you're really paying attention to these videos is if you got something to lose in the markets, okay? Like you're either an active trader or someone who's actively learning, all right? Regardless, you don't want to be going off of the wrong info, whether that be learning and you're going to use this information later on, or if you are just using it right now in real time with your hard-earned money. You don't need to be doing these things, okay? There's that. NVIDIA, I think, is going higher. Pull back to 131.26, I think gets bought. Goog over here, guys, looking pretty ugly. We were looking this week at a minimum test this 190.34 to 193.31 supply zone. I'm not sure if that's actually going to happen right now. I'm really not sure. I want to see how tomorrow closes. If we have another gap up over here and we, you know, close above 190.34, I think we're probably going to start, you know, test these daily moving averages here. We have the daily RSI here in the same exact spot, bouncing off the same exact spot it did last time. All right, and started really turn around. You kind of just kept going straight up. You had like one pullback day, and that was it. I think we could start something similar over here on Goog, but we're going to have to see how this goes and develops down here. I want to see you start really getting bought up, and then we're going to have to test the daily moving average up here around 193.31, and then if we get above there, then we got to reclaim 198.16. From there, I do think we're going to start pushing up to new highs. Those are my thoughts on Goog. Come down to 183.79. Clear as day play. You come down here, guys. Daily RSI going to be down here. And at that point, you get one of these opportunities where you could really catch a pretty decent sized move over here. You know, 5 to 10% move on Goog if you give it some time. All right, you're buying over here. This is when the daily RSI got oversold. It was on this day right here. You did end up going lower. You went $4 lower. But then if you gave it some time, you had over a 10% gain. Over here, daily RSI literally got into oversold territory right here. The open, just that day, you ended up having over a 5% move, and then give it, you know, a few more, you know, 2 weeks there, and you had an 8% move. So I do think we have that opportunity loading here, which would look something like this. All right, and then you, my friend, get to play this. All right, you're buying right here on 0.68 fib, or right here, wherever you're looking to play. All right. You're going to get probably a $10 move out of it from, you know, right over here back to up here. Amazon getting bought up right away, guys. This is a name that I was looking to buy the dip on. It doesn't look like it doesn't want to give me that opportunity. So I don't know if that's actually going to happen down here. But I do think this is going to be bought up. I know you wanted to, do a little selling off earnings over here. I understand. But at the end of the day, this chart looks pretty sick. We just had a lot of consolidation. We just broke out of like, a month and a half, 2 months of consolidation. We're probably going to continue on higher after this pullback is done. We had a pretty prime spot to buy over here, 226.50. I got my alert right there. We did not get that alert get hit today because we gapped up and we went, and we are actually right near Friday's high. We're going to see how tomorrow goes. We got to reclaim 236.40, get above 236.40. We're probably going to take out 241.77. Scratch 241.77, get above 236.40. We're coming up to 242.52. Apple, all right. I would not be buying this right now. I'm going to be just, transparent on that one, guys. Head and shoulders pattern. If there's a chart out of the Mag 7 stocks that I would not be touching, it's going to be this one right here on Apple. Focus is still right now on it's going to be on Tesla for me. Amazon, I'm watching closely. But over here in Apple, I think there's absolutely no reason to be touching this thing. If you played the bounce over here, you got a pretty prime opportunity to sell with me right off of earnings. Okay, even if you were buying with me over here, you got to sell for profit over here off of earnings. Do not be a greedy little pig. If you see a gap up into the golden pocket, do not be greedy. Sometimes we're going to be greedy, guys, and it's going to pay. But most of the times, it's going to hurt when you do the right thing, because a lot of the times it goes higher. Okay? A lot of the times it pulls back. A lot of the times it goes higher. Uber over here, you could see, just wants to keep going higher. I'm salty. It's okay. But that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes it hurts. I was mad the other day because, I was like, oh, just on this Uber position alone, March calls, I could have had like 3 of my cars. It was like, I don't remember the amount now, but it was like, I was really pissed that day. I was just like, oh my God, you piece of crap. You could have waited just half an hour, just sold at Target, and you just stick to your damn plan. Stop being a pussy. But in reality, guys, I was up 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 freaking cars today. Who freaking cares? All right. I hope y'all are fucking killing it. I think I'm gonna make above 100K this month. I think it's gonna be a sick fucking month. I hope you guys are having sick fucking months. And yeah, that's all I had to say. Just a brief little interruption there. All right, now back to the show. Coming on over here to Microsoft, guys, we are down in our demand zone. Continue to expect buyers down here. Daily RSI right in the same spot where you've been finding your buyers the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, kind of 6. All right, you didn't necessarily get down there, but at least 5 times there. You've been finding buyers down there. You're right here at the perfect spot for a bounce. You got to get above the daily 9 here in order to test the 21. Get a daily close above 420.69. This thing is probably going to start actually pushing here. You can see 427.55 in the short term, and then probably 430.432. That's a big spot right here with your reactions. Moving over here to Meta, I do think you're going higher. I think you're just going to be doing this grindy thing you like to do over here on Meta sometimes, where it's not this massive impulsive move all at once. Okay, maybe it starts out like this, but then you just, nobody wants to sell the thing. People just keep FOMO in, and then it just keeps going up. Don't know how this is going to play out, but I'll tell you one thing right now. This is not a bearish weekly chart. Do not sit there trying to short this thing. There's things like PLTR. Do not sit there trying to short these things. You have no reason to. The thing is going vertical. The surprises are clear as day. I don't need to tell you guys this. The surprises are to the upside. You want there ever to be a time when you're holding puts and the surprise goes against you, and now your puts like all in one day are down like freaking 80% because the thing just went up 20% in one day? Do you want that? I know you don't, so don't do the stupid thing. Just don't. All right? PLTR is going higher. So that is that. Okay? Chips, guys, how are the chips looking? SMH, you're right here in the middle of the range. You're back above your daily moving averages. Now we're going to be paying attention to 254.47. I do think chips could continue dragging their way up over the coming trading sessions. NVIDIA, the king over here, is probably going to be dragging the rest of its brothers and sisters along with it as it comes up here to 140 plus. AMD, guys, we had a lot of bullish flow come in the other day. Leaps, okay, we're talking 2026. Does not have to, have this move start up right now, but we are probably close to a bottom. Those are my thoughts on AMD. MU, what do we got cooking over here, guys? You're back at your supply zone, 95.53 to 97.41. Get above 97.41, we're talking 178. And then above there, 106.74. On the downside, what are we cooking over here, guys? You take out 91.59. You're probably going to revisit this 87.76 low. Not going to be looking good. You want to reclaim these short-term moving averages here, and from there, you want to launch. Okay? You reclaim, you base, you launch. It can happen. Avgo. This is one that I think is probably going to head straight up to all-time highs in the short term. I know I sound crazy. I know, you stupid permabull, Henry. What are you talking about? Why you always got to be so bullish? I understand. I understand, guys. But it doesn't. You don't need to see the world like that. You need to see the world for how it is. These charts. You don't have any reason to be bearish on these things. This thing's continuing up to new highs. 251.88 incoming. Get above 237.93 in the short term. That's all you got. Stand between you and 251.88. Congrats to anybody who bought this dip. I told you exactly where to buy it. Daily RSI was coming right back down. I was, again, a pussy. And I was like, oh, you don't want to buy in early, so let's just wait for the next day for it to go slightly lower and then go straight up in you. It's okay, guys. We've had plenty to be happy about over the over the past few weeks. It's been great, guys. It's been great. Over here on ARM, guys, I still think this thing's going to continue up to highs. Take out 173.23, probably going to head straight for 188.75. You clearly tell it's getting ready to go, guys. You broke out of the pennant. You pulled back, retested it, retested the short-term moving average. You moved right back up to the highs. It's getting ready to go. Okay, it's just giving its little zigzags over here. You're ready for the next wave. TSM, you're not really getting bought up with some of the other chips. I will just, make that noteworthy here. I want to say this is probably the weakest one. ARM is down on the day. But, do you have a nice lower wick over here on TSM like you do on ARM? No. You are back above the short-term moving average. I would say just watch 212.60 above there. You really have absolutely nothing. You have this gap. All right. You have the gap. It's at 220.96, but above there, 226.40. Bitcoin, guys, what are we cooking over here, guys? Still underneath the daily moving averages. Do not get bullish until you get back over there. Until you get back over there, the bears remain in control. Do not make trading harder for yourself than it has to fucking be. Pardon my French, but I want to get this through your thick skull. And my thick skull too, and all of our thick freaking skulls. Guys, you can go against the trend. There are really three kinds of trades. We'll break it down into that. We got tiers here. We have the reversal, okay? You have the reversal. You have the range trade, okay? Where you just bounce it back and forth, support and resistance, okay? You have the reversal, the oversold condition step in. You have the reversal, reversion back to the mean trade. That's number one, all right? You have support and resistance, okay? Your range-bound trades. And then you have your breakouts, your trending moves. Okay, those are really the only freaking trades you can put on ever in this market. If you're, someone, unless you're using complex option strategies, we're not going to get into that because I have no desire to get into that crap. Okay, but I'll tell you right now, those are the three, tiers of trades you could put on. That trending move, you could buy the breakout, you could buy the retest, you could buy the first pullback to the short-term moving averages. Those are your three entry points. Okay, right here, Bitcoin, you got no trade over here. Let's look at it this way. Bottom of the range is down here. Your support play is down here. Your oversold play is also going to be down here. Daily RSI, it gets oversold when you get back down here. All right, so 2 out of 3 types of trades here are down here. All right, what's that third kind of trade? Trending trade. Does this look like it's trending to you? No. All right, no. You got nothing to be bullish on over here on Bitcoin until you get back above the daily moving averages. Once you spike back up, that's when you get these types of trades where you can buy pullbacks. All right, you get these moves, okay? And then you reclaim, like over here, if we come over here, all right, that was Jan 15th. You're probably going to be retesting over here. Oh, what is that? Retest the short-term moving average. Breakout. You have right here, you have a range. You swept the low. You broke out of that range. You then retested your short-term moving averages. There is your entry. Okay, right now, guys, don't get bullish on Bitcoin. I'm sorry, I just broke it down like a freaking teacher. I know I'm just here to cover these charts. All right, but sometimes I see really teachable moments, and I think it's best to pounce on those. They don't come along too often, but when they're super smooth, we're going to pounce. We're going to go for it. MSTR, same thing as Bitcoin. Till you get over here, do not get bullish on it. Just wait for Bitcoin to make a move. Right now, you got nothing to be bullish on. Coin, this is the chart I would be bullish on, though. Okay? Weekly chart very clearly has been setting up here for quite some time. It wants to have the next leg up. We're just kind of be patient on the next leg. But until Bitcoin moves up to new highs, this thing is probably not going to be having the next leg. But if there's a time to be accumulating it, all right, you had, if you didn't buy in over here, I don't think you're going to be coming back over here. If you come back over here, this is also a buying opportunity. It's either going to be right here in this consolidation, or it's going to be down here at your support, which is around 240, 250. One or the other. But over here, you already bounced off the 0.618 fib from this whole most recent move up. You bounced off of, support. You swept your 246.37 support right there from this hammer candlestick. You had your break and retest off of this long-term trend line. Also inverse head and shoulders pattern right there. Okay, a lot of confidence. This thing's getting ready to move. All right, so I know I just spent some time telling you there's nothing right now to be bullish on Bitcoin about. This chart tells us that, hey, over the next few weeks, give it 1 to 2 months, I think we're probably going to see another leg up over here on coin. All right. Now let's talk about Henry's trade ideas. Number one, guys, I think Serve is about to make some big moves. I think we're about to see some things. I think we're about to take out 2409, and I do think we're going to see 25 plus, and then probably on this leg up $30 to $40. I know I sound crazy, but at the same time, this is an immaculate setup. It's also something I decided I'm going to be doing today. I wrote about this today. I will be following along with these themes from here on out, guys. Really, to have a great all the time, you really just have to identify the themes that are playing out in the market. And I kind of already am paying attention to what is hot. I might as well just track themes. I'm like, if something's moving big in the market, and it's not this piece of crap, micro crap company, this small, I trade small caps, but if it's not, we're talking things that are like under, 500 mil market cap, I'm not going to be touching them. I got no reason to. There's probably no options on them. Okay. Anything above that that's hot, I'm typically, already watching it and paying attention to it. And, a lot of these just find their way onto the focus list. So I'm going to start tracking these themes regardless, so I can really just ride these moves with dated calls and shares. So yeah, here is first thing of the robotics theme that, I am going to be riding up. I do think this is probably going to be a big player over here. Setup, immaculate. I think 2409 in the short term. After we printed that pretty sick, nasty bullish engulfing candlestick last week, guys. Just get another day like today, okay? 8.337%. Give me an 8% day tomorrow, all right? And you're almost the highs, guys. You're at 23. At that point, you're probably just going to come up here, all right? That's my top watch and what, I am participating in right now, all right? And another name in this little sector over here that had a breakout, but it's not strong over here. You also don't have options on this name, but you had the heavy volume, is over here, RR. Next one, I already talked about this, guys. I wasn't going to be a greedy little pig over here. Sometimes, not sometimes, I always plan on being that. But then, in the moment, I'm like, you have 1 to 2 months on these. Like, it's not like these are like weeklies. Like, you just caught 100% move. Get the heck out of there. What are you doing? You stupid? You stupid? All right. So ASTS, guys, I do think it's coming up to 39.08. So maybe I am stupid, but at the same time, I could easily get this pullback and just take on, a heavier position there instead of just leading the runners. And then at that point, the setup is there. So this is what I was just talking about. You could buy the breakout. You buy, reversion to the mean. You try buying the low. You could have bought in the breakout, break over here, break out of this downtrend, whichever one you were paying attention to, you could have brought it. All right. And you could have played this move up to the golden pocket. When I'm playing these over here, you got, oversold consolidation. You start breaking out. The first target, golden pocket. Okay. A perfect example of this was Uber over here. Started having this range. You broke out. All right. I bought literally right here. Target, golden pocket. It was right here, 76.40. 76.40 resistance right there. It was that level right there. All right, that's why I was salty. I didn't sell at my target. All right, I got up before then. I was decently before. I was very salty about it. Regardless, okay, that is an easy target on any one of these, breakout trades that you have over here. Once you got oversold, you typically do revert back to the mean, and typically that will be a retracement over here into the golden pocket. All right, just a little thought. Just a little thought for you guys. I got you. Okay. ASTS, pull back into 25, anywhere close to 25, buy it. No financial advice. But I do think probably going to pull back, not all the way over there. It's probably not going to give you a picture perfect entry. Probably not going to give up what it did today. Probably just pulls back a little bit and then, continues on after that. That weekly chart is no joke. I do think this is going to resort in higher prices there, okay? MCD, I already talked about this trade idea. 4-hour RSI hit a spot today where the last 4 times you've hit there, you have consolidated for 1 to 2 weeks, and then you had at least a $7 move following that consolidation. So I am watching this right here, and I'm preparing for that trade idea to come along, and I'm going to scoop that 50 to 100% gain up on those 1 to 2 month contracts just like that. Okay, so new highs are coming over here, but I think you pull back and consolidate before that. And that is going to be your boy's entry point over there. I'll let you guys know when it's going down. But next 1 to 2 weeks, we watch this guy. Him's over here, guys. I don't think it's ready to start falling yet. I think this is going 50 plus in the short term. Netflix, dips of buying opportunities over here. I think this is going to continue just grinding higher. Just like I told you, or I showed you over there, Metalix is just kind of grind higher. I think this is going to probably be doing the same thing. Same exact setup over here, resorted in, about $70 from that breakout, not from over here, but from the actual breakout above that high, $70, okay, over, not a long period of time there, that was 1 to 2 weeks. Not saying that's going to happen, but that would be going from here. You're already up, a significant amount there. All right, $35. That would be us really getting all the way up here. Can you see it at 1070? I can. 1060, 1070. I think it's coming. Affirm, guys. Weekly candle. You want to see some picture perfect stuff over here. I didn't stick around for the actual reaction, but I drew this in today. All right, and it was a picture perfect. This is why you got your trend lines, guys. Who's watching the trend lines? No freaking clue. No idea, guys. Is it the algorithms watching the trend lines? No freaking clue. Someone is, though. Someone with big money moving these stocks is watching the trend line. But yeah, picture perfect over here, guys. This thing looks like it's about to snap up. I think just on this weekly candle last week, I think it's probably going to be followed by, not an equivalent, but a similar weekly candle. I think these things could really just keep stretching here into overbought territory over here. You just got into overbought territory. I think this could just keep grinding higher. Baba. All right, Baba, guys, got above the 0.786 fib today. Got to close above 111.05. Resistance, I do think you're coming up to 117.82. I think new highs over here are coming. And then once you're above there, guys, just know weekly uptrend is in play. We are going to be seeing dips as buying opportunities over here on Baba after you take out 117.82. All right, you technically already did take out this, high over here on this move, and you pull back and you protected that low. All right, and you actually pull back, from remembering correctly, right to the golden pocket. All right, right there, 0.786 fib action. Look at that. Like I said, guys, reversion to the mean. Just watch for the golden pocket tests. They happen all the time. I don't let me sound mean when I'm saying these things. I'm just passionate about it, I promise. I'm definitely not a mean guy. If I saw you in person and you need help, I would help you out. Okay? I try not to be mean. But yeah, new highs over here. 117.82 probably incoming in the short term. Heavy volume today. Uber. I do think Uber's going to continue going. I hate to say it because, I just hate to say it. I wish I had a full position here. I wish I just kept buying this thing. But no, it is what it is. But I'm going to be completely honest, guys. Uber is a freaking cash cow over here. Although, like I told you guys, I was mad in the weekly update. I expressed my frustration. But at the same time, I cannot be mad. I did at the end of the day pull a couple cars out of Uber over here anyway. So it does not matter. But it could have just been like more. Regardless, guys, do you see what I see? Look at this thing. This thing wants to do what this thing did. Okay? This thing wants to continue up to new highs. Like real talk over here. Uber, I think, someone, someone over there announcing a, what, 3% stake in the company or whatever he had. Yeah, that's a big deal. All right. When a big player comes out and says these things, it's like, oh, damn, he's betting on this thing going to new highs and then continuing to go to new highs. Stock price typically follows that. Doesn't happen all the time. Some people like Jim Cramer like to, make things go in reverse. Doesn't always happen like how I'm describing, but, that is what's going on over here, guys. People are feeling the FOMO after that. So I think it's going to continue. You got to break above 81.25 for it to get to 87. But, I know I just said that it's going higher, but I'm also going to slap you in the face right now and slap you back in reality. If you were a buyer down here with me, you better be selling here in the golden pocket. You better be securing some profit here. You got no reason not to. Daily RSI is going to be oversold. It doesn't usually stay oversold. Okay. It will pull back and stuff like that. You'll get opportunities. That's what I'm getting at. So just wait. You'll get into a clear as day opportunity, and I'll get it too, and we'll get back in. Cost over here, okay? You're not alone, guys. I got you. You're not alone. 1063. Break above 1063, guys. 1,100, I do think, is the next stop. All right? I told you guys about this one before it broke out, and then it broke out. I told you literally on this day right here. All right? It did some crazy things. Crazy shit. Now it's at new highs. Now we're so close. We're within $40 from our 1,100 target. Now, when we put it on the board, it was somewhere over here. Well, on the breakout, it's going to be so far away over here. It was going to be a whole $90. Well, guys, we already did $55 of that. We're over halfway there. This is probably going to continue higher. It's the same situation as PLTR. I don't understand why people want to short these things when it's like crazy strength, all right? You could take something like just short INTC, all right? This thing has sold every chance it's freaking got. It continues showing the weakness, all right? When you see the setups, that's when you want to short it. You don't freaking short this thing. You just don't do it. You got no reason to. Keep your money, all right? Moving on over here, KO earnings tomorrow before the open. Weekly candle is now above the weekly 21 EMA. I do think it's only a matter of time until we see KO back up at 68.86. I told you guys about this way back down here. It is now $4 higher. That's $3 higher. That's a big deal over here for options like KO if you don't know. Just go look at it for yourself. All right, every $2.50, you're moving up quite a bit over there, even on the dated contracts. Quite a bit. But I'm just telling you guys right now, if this thing doesn't dump it tomorrow and you don't open up down here and you don't come down here tomorrow, I think you're going to continue climbing over here on KO. So that's something for you to keep on your radar, something that's just trending higher. XYZ. This is where buyers are going to step in. If they're going to step in, they're going to defend the 0.786 fib at $83. If you break through 83 at that point, you're probably going to be coming back down to this low. All right, 80.20. So if buyers are going to defend, it's going to be right here. If you want to put on position, it's going to be right here. You cut underneath here. Okay, or you just literally do what I'm going to do about it, and you're going to wait. You're going to wait for this thing to really start turning around. And then you could just ride the momentum when it comes back into it. Because right now, it's not there. I don't think it's worth. Just wait. You're going to test this trend line. Sometime we're going to get a setup that probably looks like this. We're going to buy right here. LOY. In the golden pocket. I think it's going to pull back. Pullback is a buying opportunity. New highs are incoming. Pull back over here to 846.46. That's your double bottom. Break and retest level right there. That's your neckline, 846.46. Retest it. I'd say buy zone is between 846.46 and 811.35. All right, data contracts are not going to be moving too much, guys. So, if you're buying here and price comes down here, it's okay. All right, if you are actually someone who's buying these really expensive contracts over here on LLY and you're buying time on them, okay, they're not going to move so much with that move. They're not. You're not going to die. I know it's a big range, but you got a breakout level here. That's why we like it there. And we got a breakout level right here. We got action right over here. We have the daily 21 down here around 811.35. We have the daily 9 around 846.46. Those are our two reaction spots. Last one, ELF. All right, ELF over here, guys. I debated taking this one today, but I know better, so I decided not to. You know, most of the time buying the falling knives, you don't really have a reason to. These are the reversion to the mean trades. You know, a lot of them on the big names, I like to play them, but on stuff that, you know, I don't consistently watch, that I know doesn't move with the market exactly, I don't like to play these. I don't like to participate because they can keep dying. Something like Target. All right. Target fell over here. Did it ever come back up and straight up fill that? No. All right. You could have bought in the falling knife over here. It kept dying a little bit more, and then it finally turned around, and then it based here, and then you had a chance to really play it. Okay. But if you're buying over here, you're probably just stressed out, hoping it turns around, and that's not a position you want to be in. Most of the time, price bases out, and then you get up, you know, up. I know over here, you know, it kind of gapped up. It did give you a chance. That's fine. Okay, but it's still based out there. You knew buyers were, you know, actually stepping in because price was not continuing to fall. See how it goes. Base. All right, so that's ELF. That is what I have on my radar. But you know, big guy over here, SERV. I do think this thing is getting ready for takeoff over here, 2409 in the short term, and that is top watch for me right now. With that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a bit of a longer video for not being a weekly update. I know, just a daily update. Henry, what are you doing with this 50-minute video? What the heck? Who do you think you are? I think I'm giving some quality info out there, and I think some of it takes time to explain. I think in the end, it's going to benefit anybody who actually takes the time to listen to my banter. All right, my analogies. I know sometimes they're wacky, but at the end of the day, you know, I do think I look at the market in the correct manner. I think anybody who looks at the market and then trades the market how I do, I think is someone who's going to be consistently a winner over time. And, you know, that's what I'm going to encourage. And, you know, I don't say these things because I don't believe them. I don't. Okay. I say them because I believe them so freaking much, and I got no other reason to, you know, I got no benefit if they don't work for you. Okay. Just realize that there's no incentive here for what I'm telling you to be wrong. All right. And maybe I'm not going to get everything right, but I'll tell you right now, if you get most things right, it's not going to matter about the 20%. You got 80% of it right. It's not going to matter. You don't have to be picture perfect. Sometimes you are going to be picture perfect. A lot of times, most of the time, you're not. With that being said, I'll catch you all on the next one. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate your time, and peace.